Okay, after 2 days, we finally got the paper proposal thing sent in, and you're right. The easiest way to do this would probably be to, as far as the 23 lecture responses, I kind of thought I was respond. I don't know. I lose track of shit. I don't think my brain's right anymore. It's probably the drugs. I like blaming the drugs, because I can't take the drugs I want to take, but I have to take the drugs that are probably doing shit for me. So that's not good. But so I don't know how to do this, and I don't even really know exactly how I did it yesterday. But I did it through Google Drive somehow. But now it's saying that I can only do 10 megabytes at a time. I don't know what happened. So I'm going to try to do this though. I'm going to try to do a lecture at a time, and then maybe pause it, and then I don't know. I'm going to just wing it. But the first lecture is easy because I've got a lot written down about it. And so we'll just start there, and that's the ancient war on cannabis. And I have it all written down. That's the good thing about taking notes sometimes is you have stuff to fall back on. And the questions that you had were, is marijuana more socially acceptable? And it absolutely is. And I think people, obviously everything's around ignorance, right? It's like obviously marijuana is the least harmful probably out of everything, even nicotine. I mean, look at nicotine leads to freaking lung cancer, basically, and that's way more addictive than marijuana or alcohol. And so, yeah, so it is more socially acceptable, but it's still got the stigma. It's funny watching the evolution of it all, though, right? You're old enough to know it. It's funny to see, even though it's still depicted as a comical type of thing with the Cheech and Chong and Grandma's Boy. Great movie, of course. All these movies about weed and stuff. It's always tongue in cheek stuff. Nobody ever makes a movie where somebody's smoking marijuana and it's just part of his day or whatever. And I guess American Beauty, he kind of did that, but for the most part, it's still basically like some kind of a stigma type of a thing. But so the most important some of your questions, I want to be honest, some of your questions seem really ambiguous. Like they're kind of hard to really decipher exactly what you're like. Most important factor for general toleration um, for mainstream it has something to do with mainstream for like so the most important factor for the grad toleration or whatever. Yeah, I mean you're going to see it, because it's legal, completely legal now in the state, and now that they're seeing the money of it, don't get it mixed up, right? It's like all these Republican states are trying to get on board because they're just greedy uh, animals, and they're knowing they're missing out on money, and they're not into that. So they're just getting on board. It's like they try to weave this this thing, their Christian base and all that BS, and our values and all this, but people are gonna smoke it anyway. Let's make some money on it. Whatever. But the most important factor for general toleration for mainstream education, man. Everything is about education, right? Every freaking thing you can break it all down. The base, the less you know, the worse off you are. And that's just like me trying to do these damn assignments, man. I get backed up, and then by the time I try to get going on it, I get so mired in the logistics of it all that I end up losing track of where I was. So that's my first lecture response. It's going to be education. Obviously, is the most important factor for general toleration for mainstream marijuana use. Obviously, because people are just need to know. People that are afraid of marijuana are people that generally don't know exactly what it's about. So, and it's too bad. But I'm going to try that one. I don't know if I'm just going to keep adding to them or not. Maybe I should do that.